NCLB is very underfunded. It has huge requirements, and then we get very little money from that. So most of the money we get comes from the state. You know, the federal government imposed these things and then has expected the state to pick up the slack. The state's created the test programs. The state is expected to do all these things and then pay for it in the schools, pay for the implementation in the schools. And the federal government really offers, you know, little to no help to meet those goals. Standards are taught every day, throughout the day, you know, and our curriculum has been just recently realigned with the standards to make sure that kids are being taught all of the standards that are required, which means a lot of times going very fast through material because the standards are large. There's a lot. It's a big complaint with the standards.
Day to day, your constant focus is, okay, the STAR test is coming up, and I want them to succeed and I want them to do well. There's just the standardized testing that's going to happen, and your kids have to perform, and I have to teach to it every day. I have to be mindful.
So of course we're teaching to the test because we're teaching the standards that are going to be on the test, and that's what we're supposed to teach. Do I teach how to take a high stakes multiple choice test every day? No. Do I spend time every week, probably 2 or 3 of the days? Yes.
Yeah, I guess you do. You find yourself teaching to the test and not just to everything else because you're being held to these standards.
The stress is really on just doing tasks as opposed to really understanding and being able to get a really good understanding of something. So they understand just only the very top surface layer of concepts, and there's no time to really make sure they understand at a more deeper level. So we teach all these kids all this stuff, and they can do it one way, and then if they see it in a different format, they don't know how. So it's trying to get kids to understand the concepts and then be able to perform on a multiple choice test.
Science standards are very in-depth in talking about, you know, understanding how DNA works and mitosis and meiosis. I mean, it's a lot of material to cover. It's really difficult for me. I'm teaching not only with English learner, you know, their language skills are low in the English language, and then I have these deficiencies on top of it. So I've got students who not only don't understand the language, they don't understand the concept. And science concepts, there's really only so much, I guess you could say, dumbing down that you can do before I start missing the standards.
You can't go at the pace of the students. You have to stay with the schedule, otherwise they won't get it. You know, they won't get the entire breadth of the standards. So it makes it hard because you have to go at a very fast pace, which is okay for some, but I would say it's difficult for many.
I don't think they're unrealistic, but I think in our demographic and the students that we have, the population here, if these students can't speak the language, how are they going to understand the concept? How can they read over these questions and not have a clue of what is being asked because they don't even know what the vocabulary is? No Child Left Behind implementation of the reading program has greatly affected my numbers, and it's become challenging.
Some of the things that have arisen out of the high school exit exam, students are now being scheduled into double math, double English classes. And this is happening more and more around the state as this goes forward, is that students are being identified when they come in as either, if they're below grade level or far below, they get scheduled in double math, double English. So students aren't taking as much science or foreign language or other things just in general because they're taking so much math and English.
We have support classes for the KC implemented to kind of like cover ourselves and make sure that we're giving them that extra support, and we're trying to meet all these requirements and we're trying to make it, you know, happen. And I don't know, I don't see it happening.
big deal for the whole school. If we don't meet our goals, we have so much more work piled on. And even though our school met our goals, our district didn't. So now I have to go and basically go to these meetings. And I find that many of the activities that they force schools to do when they don't meet the goals are like totally useless. Like, it doesn't do anything. You write down things you're going to do and try, and I don't think that that really affects change. And I mean, everybody's looking for some way to try to fix and help the schools, but you know, I don't think sitting around and talking about it any more than everybody already does is gonna affect that change everybody's looking for.